freshly back from the gym. It is about 11:35, and I had intended on doing a push day today, but the person I go to the gym with had something else that they wanted to do, so I ended up just doing treadmill and elliptical, which the whole point of this was that I've been lifting lately and wanted to do a video about what I'm eating that's high protein after lifting. Whatever. I'm still gonna show you because I still have this plan today. So I mentioned in the last video I did, which was kind of a like what I eat in a day, feeling uninspired video, and I had mentioned that I was for a while making like a big smoothie after I got back from the gym with protein powder and a bunch of other stuff in it, and it tasted delicious, but I always felt like I just needed a nap right after, like somehow it just kind of crashed my energy level. Well, this company reached out to me called Complement, and they had asked if I wanted to try their protein. They have vitamins and things, which I'll show you in a second. But they asked if I wanted to try their protein. I said sure, and I honestly wasn't thinking much of it, just kind of another protein. This one though was different because it was unflavored, so you could put it with anything, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, so I don't have to worry about having like sweeteners in it or sugar, like I can just flavor it with whatever I want. So this protein has, when you look at it, it's basically certified organic. I don't know if you can read that. Certified organic, but basically the components of this are almond, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, yellow peas, nothing else. Also compostable packaging. So anyways, I've been using this and I love it. I haven't been making like a full like smoothie or like protein shake or anything like that. I've literally just been mixing this with a little bit of oat milk and drinking it, and that way I get my protein. It keeps my energy level up, but I feel like I'm getting the extra protein. So for one serving, 85 calories, it's 15 grams of protein. Obviously you're scooping it up, you could add more, but I like having just that extra little bit of protein in my day. Again, today's all about maximizing proteins in my plant-based meals. So sad part about this is though that I don't have any oat milk made. I'm actually soaking some oats. They're somewhere, I guess they're in the fridge. So I need to make oat milk really quickly. I'm not gonna show you that because literally the last video I put out was me making oat milk, so I'll have that linked up here and you can see me making the oat milk. So I'm gonna quickly make a batch of oat milk so that I can drink my complement, and again there's some vitamins that I'll show you in a second that I actually put in there with it, which has slightly sweetened, so that's kind of what I use as the sweet component of this. But yeah, I just make this really quick protein drink with this, and I'm good to go. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but you can bake with this. You kind of use it as a flour replacement. So I'm actually going to be making a batch, since I'm making oat milk, might as well make a batch of my oat muffins. So I'm actually going to use this for some of the flour, because basically the pulp from making oat milk, again, all this is in this video, well, it's already linked, but basically the pulp from the oat milk, you need another half cup of some sort of flour, so I'm gonna use this as that extra flour in there. I did play with this a little bit, baking with it, and I did have to up the liquid ingredients a little bit, but I think I'm gonna go like a chocolate coconut flavor today. So I'm gonna make my oat milk, and then I'll show you how I make the drink with this, and then we'll make some muffins with this, and that'll probably hold me for quite a few hours until I'm ready to make my other high protein meal. Here's a closer look at the protein. And then I'm also gonna be adding this Complement Essentials Liquid Vegan Nutrients, and you can see what's all in there. I have my oat milk made. I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of this into the oat milk, 2 squirts of that, and I actually decided that I'm going to make espresso as well, so I'll be adding espresso in with that, a few ice cubes, kind of having an iced protein latte. I feel like adding the ice not only makes it cooler, but it also kind of acts as like one of those little metal ball type of things that helps to incorporate the protein into the oat milk. Give it a taste. The vitamins have like a slight orangey flavor. I think I might add a little bit of maple syrup in here just to, because it's already added a bit of sweetness, so I might as well take it a little bit further. So, add my straw here. It's a little bit weird around the house today. Ben decided to take a little bit of a nap because we were up early. because we had to take the dogs to the groomer. They're at a new groomer. We're trying them out for the first time. And so it's really strange not having any pups around because they're always at my feet whenever I'm in the kitchen, especially when I get ice cubes like I got for this. Like, they're always, like, they love eating ice cubes. So anytime I go to get ice, they're there at my feet. Just really strange. I miss them. All right, so I'm gonna drink my protein coffee, which is really nice. I'm gonna make the chocolate oat muffins now. So I've got the oat pulp. Let me show you here. So this is the pulp from making the oat milk. So I'm going to be mixing this pulp with a bit of the protein and some cocoa powder. I'll have the full recipe linked below to monsonmadethis.com. Also, if you want to get yourself some of this protein powder or the vitamins, I'll have a link below. If you use my code at checkout, you save 10% as well. So that's cool. It also helps support the channel. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, but I love this protein. I've been using it daily after the gym. So if you want to try it as well, there's a link below to get it. Yeah, so I'm gonna get set up so I can make these muffins. I'm actually not gonna really show that whole process fully because this would be the third video within the last like month or so that I've shown you how to make these oat muffins. So check out the link to the oat milk video that has the tropical muffins, which would also be great with this protein. I'm just gonna make a chocolate version, but again, I'll have a full recipe on monsonmadethis.com. And I'll show you a little bit of the process, I guess, why not? In this bowl I have the dry ingredients. It's the oat pulp, cocoa powder, the protein powder, baking soda, baking powder, the coconut flake, and the cranberries are gonna go in after I've combined it with the wet ingredients, which is a ripe banana that's been mashed, some coconut sugar, some chickpea flour, a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of coconut extract, and the chickpea flour is what's gonna act as our egg, and I will be adding oat milk to this to help create more of the liquid that's gonna go in here. Because the protein powder does absorb quite a bit of liquid, I will be adding probably a bit more oat milk than I normally would when I'm just using flour or oats for the extra half cup. So I'm gonna mix this with this, and then it's gonna go into the muffin pan. Muffins just went into the oven. They're gonna bake about 20 minutes. I'll know they're done when I can touch the top and they seem firm. And I don't know if it's a thing with, if it's just like a gluten-free baking thing or if it's an oat baking thing, but I find that fresh out of the oven, the texture is a bit off, but once they've like cooled completely, even set in a like covered container for a couple of hours, that's when they're actually at their best or peak texture. So I'm not gonna eat them. I mean, I'm still working on my protein latte here, but I won't eat them immediately. I'll probably have one in like an hour or two. In terms of the protein, like this is all about the protein. There's protein from the chickpea flour, which is our egg substitute. There's also the protein powder that I added. I think there's a fair amount of protein in the oat fiber as well. Just trying to maximize the protein at every point that I could and still make a delicious muffin. So when those are out, I'll take them, when those are done, I'll take them out. It's definitely time for me to take a shower because I got right into this after coming home from the gym. Later today, I'm gonna be making and I probably won't wait too much longer because it needs to set in the fridge, but I'm gonna be making a high protein pasta salad. So I'm gonna be using chickpea pasta. I'm gonna be using my classic universal cold salad dressing, which is tofu based. Again, just trying at every stop along the way to get the most protein into that dish while still keeping it essentially whole food, as much whole food possible as I can, and plant based. So I'll be back with the muffins in a second, and then shower time. So the muffins are done. They look and smell incredible, and I just picked that up with hot, or it's still hot. I did it again. Anyway, I'm gonna take these out. Again, when you keep grabbing it, it's hot, but I have asbestos fingers. When you touch it, it doesn't give in, it feels firm. It doesn't feel like my finger is gonna go through or like it's mush. I'm gonna try to get them out of here so they don't get steamy and soggy underneath. These are just gonna cool, like I said, to room temperature. Then I'm gonna put them in this little plastic storage container because this is pretty much the only thing I have that will fit them. I'm gonna go shower, and then I will be hopefully hearing about the dogs to go pick them up from the groomer so that we can have them back because I miss them. And then I'll start my pasta salad after that. Showered, and I've made my high protein pasta salad here. So this is, or I guess it's technically a macaroni salad because I think I did use macaroni elbows. So it's Banza, which is a chickpea pasta. I've actually used whole wheat pasta in the last couple days as well. That works really great. But the Banza pasta does have twice the protein as a whole wheat pasta, so I'm using that. I also think the trick with Banza pasta is to cook it like a minute or two less than it says for al dente, because it is going to absorb some of the sauce, and I don't know, I just taste it and I feel like as soon as it seems like it's done, I take it off the heat, drain it, rinse it in cold water, because I don't want it to overcook, because I have a fear of it kind of like breaking apart, which was my first fear, because I actually Googled chickpea pasta salads and all I found were pasta salads with chickpeas in them. And I was like, oh, is this not a thing? Can you not make a pasta salad with a chickpea pasta? But you know what? You can. And this is incredible. So I use my universal cold salad dressing, which I have probably like 4 or 5 recipes that use that. It's tofu and cashew based. I'll have the link to the recipe below. This will also have a recipe as well, even though it's kind of just thrown together. So the universal cold salad dressing, tofu based, silken tofu, cashews. I didn't add the oil that's in the recipe, so it's technically oil free. Lemon juice, vinegar, garlic, onion powder, nutritional yeast. It's beautiful. This is gonna hang out in the fridge. Oh, I forgot, I also added frozen peas, which I thawed slightly, and I had some white beans that I had made the other day that I just added to this. So you have protein in the pasta, protein in the beans, protein in the peas, protein in the sauce. And the best part about the universal cold salad dressing, not only is it delicious, but the sauce has the nutrition. So wanting to increase the protein is done by increasing the creamy, most delicious part of the dish. So it's so good. You could add other veggies to it, blank canvas. But yeah, so this is gonna go in the fridge. Still haven't heard back from the pups. Feel like I have salad dressing in my mustache now. Just waiting to hear back from the pups. Muffins are cool. This is just gonna go in the fridge. I'm gonna put a cover on it, and then just wait to hear from the pups, and I will be probably ready to eat this or the muffins very soon. Oh, and then dinner. I promised you 3 high protein recipes, so I haven't actually figured out what that one is yet. You'll find out very soon. Look who's back from the groomers with their new haircuts. You guys,
and scarves.
do you guys feel cute? You guys have a good day?
Now's the point where they're tired.
We're done. Well, the pups are back home. They look adorable. Their new haircuts are great. We really like this new place that we took them to. It's called Doggy District. And we're very happy. The staff there's a ton of staff, but they were all super sweet, and it was a good experience, because in the past we've taken them to another grooming place connected to a big pet store, and just the dogs always got really scared as we were pulling up or pulling into the parking lot. They didn't seem to have the same kind of fear today, so that felt great. But since I last saw you all, I've had one of the chocolate muffins, which was so good. I really don't know what happens between them being baked and cooling off for an hour or so, but something magically happens with the texture. And I had actually 2 days ago made that same chocolate style muffin, and I don't know what I did. I didn't cook it long enough, or I tried to eat it too fast. I ended up eating them all within a day or two, but this batch is definitely much, much better. I also had a little bit of my pasta salad or macaroni salad, so I've got a muffin, about half the macaroni salad, and even though I'm not super hungry right now or necessarily ready to eat, I decided that I would just start cooking and filming my third high-protein plant-based recipe. So what I have planned for you here is actually a recipe that I've been working on for quite a while. I've made it a few times. I was planning on filming it regular style with Ben, and then I was like, you know what, I might as well just do this today. So it is a sesame crusted air-fried tofu over a lemon tahini slaw, and it's so good. I'm gonna take you around. I've got everything set out around the kitchen, so I'm gonna take you around and show you what everything is. I needed to get rid of some beets. That's not the right word. I needed to use some beets, so I cut them up. They're in the air fryer / oven right now, which is what I need to use for the tofu, so those are just finishing up, but it's gonna take me a minute to get everything else together. So yeah, let me show you everything around the kitchen, explain to you what's gonna be happening, and then we'll just get into making this delicious tofu dish. Here we have one block of tofu that has been pressed, and I've cut it actually into, I guess it's thirds, thickness into thirds, and then I cut it into little triangles. Here I have chickpea flour, which I will add some water to, and that's gonna become the egg mixture, the batter that's going to hold this mixture here, which is sesame seeds, white and dark sesame seeds, I guess white and black sesame seeds. And then these are gluten-free panko breadcrumbs right here. And I will be seasoning that up a bit, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. And I will be adding just a little bit here of this sesame oil, and that's just gonna help the seasoning stick. Over here, this is red cabbage. This is going to be for the slaw. The dressing, because it's a lemon tahini dressing, will be lemon tahini, some Bragg's liquid aminos, and a little bit of sriracha. And to bump up the protein of that is going to be some black beluga lentils, which are cooking. These have about 9 minutes left to go, so I'm just cooking these fully, a little bit of salted water. As soon as these are done, I will drain them, and they will make their way into the slaw with the purple cabbage or red cabbage or whatever color this cabbage is. Here is the chickpea flour, and I'm going to just be adding enough water to turn this into a thin egg mixture. Again, think like you're mixing egg with some milk or a little bit of water so that you can adhere any type of breading to any type of protein. Kind of a conventional way to do it. This is my favorite chickpea flour. It doesn't have the best flavor when it's raw, but it is certainly a great binder. It really helps things stick. And of course, the benefit of using chickpea flour is that you get the benefit of chickpeas, which is a little bit extra protein. And I don't want this to be too thin necessarily, because the tofu does still carry a little bit of water, even if it has been pressed and drained. So this thickness here, it's a little bit runny, but I'm not gonna add any more liquid at this point. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Let's do that. Just to make sure that we have seasoning in every step. That's good, this can hang out. Let's go on to the sesame crumbs. Again, I have the breadcrumbs, sesame seeds, I added a ton of garlic powder, salt, pepper, and I'm just gonna add a little drizzle of sesame oil. If you wanted to keep this oil free, you absolutely could. There's no necessary, well, let me explain why I add the oil. The sesame oil, just because it's, you know, sesame seeds, but I really like the way that a little bit of oil helps to stick the seasoning, the salt, pepper, garlic powder to the crumbs. You could use any type of breadcrumbs that you like. I guess you could just use all sesame seeds if you wanted. I like the crunch from the breadcrumbs, especially these ones, which are gluten-free, have a really great texture. Also, it just makes every single recipe that I've made today gluten-free as well. Also, a quick note here, make sure to taste your sesame seed mixture for seasoning. You want that to be really nice and flavorful. Tofu itself doesn't have much flavor going on inside of it, so you definitely want to make sure that that breading, that outer coating, the sesame seed mixture is nice and flavored, so give it a taste, like I'll do now. Great garlic flavor, enough salt, enough pepper. So I'm gonna take the tofu, put the tofu into the chickpea mixture, take it from the chickpea mixture into the sesame seed mixture, press it all on there, make sure that it gets completely coated, and then set it aside until I can actually put things into my oven/air fryer. All of the tofu has been coated in the sesame and panko mixture. Pretty much used all of the chickpea mixture, although I do have a little bit left of the panko sesame topping, which I think I might be able to save. We'll see. So the only thing left to do is get these in the air fryer. The tofu is fully coated and is in the air fryer/smart oven. The lentils are finished cooking over here on the stove, so they need to be drained. And full disclosure, the original recipe for the tahini, it's preheated. For the lemon tahini slaw, it didn't have lentils in it, but again, I'm trying to like really boost the protein. That's what today's all about. So that's why I'm adding the black lentils in there. If you don't have them, don't add them. If you have another kind of lentil, you can add those. You could even add some sort of bean, chickpea, something like that to it would be great as well. So let me drain those really quick and then put them into the bowl. That's out of your view. Get them into the bowl with the red cabbage. Start to mix together the dressing. Really simple, just like 2 tablespoons of tahini, some lemon juice, a little sriracha, a little Bragg's liquid aminos. Again, all the recipes will be linked below, but really quickly just comes together. Usually I do it in the bowl before I add the cabbage, but I already have the cabbage in the bowl, so have to do it in a separate bowl, no big deal. So let's get going on that. Real talk, the reason why I hadn't made a recipe video for this yet is because I love the slaw, I love the tofu, but when I would bite into it, I felt like it was missing something. So I've been trying to figure out what it was that I could do to this dish to sort of finish it off and bring it all together. And I don't know if I have some sort of like synesthesia or something like that, but I kept picturing it needs like sweet brown. Like that's what it needs, sweet brown. So I ended up digging through my fridge, finding some old, not that old, like a week old, some old eel sauce, which is just basically like a teriyaki sauce. I'll have it linked in this recipe, but That's what I drizzled on top at the end. This is amazing by itself. The slaw is incredible by itself, but it just needed, again, like sweet brown. So that's why I added the eel sauce. You don't necessarily need that. Like sriracha or some hot sauce would be nice at the end. If you have like a bottled teriyaki sauce, that would work as well. Again, doesn't necessarily need it, but in my mind, whenever I would taste this dish, that was kind of where my mind would go. So you gotta make this tofu and the slaw. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of 3 high-protein, plant-based / vegan dishes. If you want more of these kind of foods, more high-protein dishes, let me know. I can definitely come up with some more for you. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet already. And I'm excited to go and eat this because I didn't want to eat too much earlier because I wanted to make this before it got dark outside. So now I can just like sit back and enjoy this with macaroni salad and another muffin for dessert. Just go crazy. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.